Hello, everybody. It's the Warm. Ready for some more VLR. Last time, not much stuff happened, actually. It was kind of covering the ground that we did in the other of the routes on this side over here. Of course, I didn't realize that at first, so I ended up repeating quite a lot, actually. I hope that wasn't too much of a detriment to what I was doing. But we did learn a few things, or one thing really. One big difference was that someone has set up a bomb in the bee garden, which someone has informed me is actually, the B stands for biotope garden. I'm not sure if we've seen that somewhere, but I guess that's what the B stands for. In any case, I guess that means that someone has had the opportunity to do that in this timeline, whereas in the other one, they did not have enough time, because we saw in the route where we actually, as in Sigma, when Sigma went into the biotope garden, after they finished being in there was no bomb there found afterward. So I think my thought on that thus far is, I had the thought that maybe the old lady that got stabbed in this route over here may have planted the bombs, because there were no bombs found in this one. But considering here, the bomb was planted here, but not in this one, and yet we haven't seen the old lady die yet, or we haven't found her corpse. That's kind of telling me maybe it's one of us that's planting the bombs, because why wouldn't the old lady have done it in this one? Well, I guess I need to go back and check. How much time was there? The same amount of time between the end of these escape rooms here and us finding Alice in the biotope garden? Was that the same amount of time in both timelines? Because say it took longer to get to Alice in this one over here. If it did, then whoever set up the bomb basically had more time to do it. And thus, if it took a shorter amount of time here, then obviously because they didn't have as much time, they weren't able to set up the bomb. I need to check that. Now I'm not sure, actually. Yeah. Anyway, the bomb was the big difference. That and because we have different partners this time around, it's a different set of voting groups. And this time we're voting with Luna and Phi. And I promised Phi I would vote ally, and so I followed through on that, and I've voted ally. And I believe that Phi is going to vote ally as well. Now, in the very beginning, I said I thought that Alice would vote ally, but that was kind of a joke. It was based upon what I wanted Alice to be and not who Alice actually was. But we've spent a good bit of time with Phi now, so if she promises to say she's going to pick ally, I'm going to choose to believe her. So either this will show that I'm kind of getting her, or I've completely misread her. We'll see. Let's actually find out.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Luna and I stepped out of our AB room a little later than the others. They were already gathered in front of the projection, awaiting the announcement of the results.
You chose Ally, right?
Well, Luna, weren't you standing right behind me?
Are you sure that was okay?
Oh, maybe our body blocked the screen. Yeah. What else would I yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, what else was I gonna do? I promised. It'll be fine. I'm sure Fi chose Ally too.
Really?
Come on, what's with you? Do you not trust Fi?
No, that's not what I mean. It's just...
Let's just go have a look, shall we? Why are we even talking about this? We'll know what happened in just a few seconds.
You're right. Let's go.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
Yeah, Fi and Luna have definitely sort of been my favorites thus far of all the characters, I think. Fi, well, she's been kind of, combative and with us, but she's obviously very smart, and having a bit of banter with someone can be a good thing. So I've kind of enjoyed being with Fi. And with Luna, I just, she matches my natural inclination to want to ally with people, and just seems a good all-around person. Now, of course, we had the whole thing, find it with the dead old woman and the elevator car, and it being moved from one place to another, and it seeming to be originally Luna's elevator car. And then obviously the craziness that followed, where Luna was found dead in the crew quarters. So obviously, I at this point I think it's safe to say that pretty much everyone here has something hidden from everyone else. So I want to, it's sort of that similar thing I talked about a few episodes ago, where I said I really want to like Kay, but I just can't get rid of this last bit of doubt that makes me, retreat from going all in, And unfortunately, that kind of applies to Luna too, because the game keeps throwing these little things, like that scene we just had just now. What's the deal with Luna questioning the idea to ally? She was so gung-ho about allying herself, at least on this route here, that's all she ever did. So why is she questioning us now? What's the deal? Does she doubt Fi, or is there something else that's bothering her?
Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Okay. Here we go. Why? Why does this always happen to me? I guess Luna was right. She was right to be suspicious. Man. That hurts. That really hurts. Especially because I thought we would actually get an all-ally round. The mythical all-ally round. It's seeming even more mythical as the game goes on. This one stings a bit, actually. Now, obviously, Fi's she's gonna get out of here. She has the 9. She's gonna escape. And we'll be left behind. Yeah, this one stings. This one hurts a bit,
Points
actually.
have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Like the whole thing with Alice and everything, the very first one I did, I chose to be upset about that, but not really, because it was all a joke. But this one, I didn't even take much time to ponder it. I just said, yeah, sure. And then she does this. Yeah. Yeah, this one actually does hurt a bit.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
I could imagine she's not even going to offer an explanation or anything. She's just going to leave. Hey, what the hell is this? Why'd you choose betray? I thought we promised.
We? I don't remember that.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, she said, do you promise? What?
You promised me. You said you'd choose Ally, but I don't recall promising you anything.
What a scummy thing to do.
I was free to choose whatever I wanted. You should have
Hold
seen
on.
this coming. I told you I'd make you pay. And now I am.
Huh? I had absolutely no idea what she was talking about. I was about to say the same thing.
You reap what you sow. This is your fault. You chose betray first.
First? Do you mean in round 1?
No, I mean the first round too.
Have you lost it? Take a real good look at the results up there. This is round 2. My vote was ally. Yours was betray. I didn't betray you. I've never betrayed you.
Yes, you have. Remember? Oh, don't lie to me, Sigma.
What?
Drop the act. There's no way you don't know by now.
Know about what?
What's happening to you? The strange things you've been seeing.
Do you mean the premonitions? I wanted to say it, but as the word formed itself in my mouth, I felt a tingle along the back of my neck. Someone was looking at me. I turned around to see Luna, Clover, and Kay.
What are the two of you talking about?
It's nothing. Forget about it.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. You were the only person who chose to betray this round. Is there some connection to what you and Sigma were discussing?
Yes, there is a connection, but you wouldn't believe me.
You don't know that. We might believe a lot.
Fi looked away and scowled. She's not gonna say anything. She's gonna leave. Or will she? For several long moments, her eyes stared off into the distance, and I could also see her mind working. So, maybe she would hit ally normally, but unfortunately, it looks like we have a case. I mean, this is what we were discussing a couple episodes ago, you know? The example of why, the hypothetical of why Alice might change her vote, that she suddenly remembered a past thing or something, and that was just a hypothetical, it could be a chain of things like that. But so maybe I wasn't incorrect. Maybe Fi would normally pick ally, and my assumptions about her aren't wrong. However, it appears that at one point, we as Sigma betrayed her, and she has now remembered that particular timeline. Now, I'm curious. That's probably excuse me. That's probably here, actually. It's the last choice we made, right here. But I chose to do ally first. I'm curious if... So I've been told that, and I think I addressed this actually, the scene actually changes depending on which route you go down first. So I find it interesting that she's referring to what should be this timeline here, where we pick Betray. That's what I'm assuming. Of course, you know, I don't know how, story-wise, I don't know how many times we've run through this thing, you know? Like, if we're only, like, here's all the routes we see for the game here, but I mean, is that an accurate representation of all the different timelines that are actually being played out? I don't know yet. I don't know. So she could be referring to this timeline, or it could be another timeline entirely where Sigma betrayed her. Because if we're talking about me the player, the Worm, right here, hello, I have only ever picked Betray once, and that was against Alice. And that was in response to already being betrayed by her. I've never betrayed Fi. So clearly the game is, you know, maybe that's an indication that, you know, and I think that's probably the case because there were some scenes in the very beginning that this whole, whatever this is, experiment, whatever, has been running probably quite a while before we as the player step into the story. At least that's my initial thoughts on this situation here. So it still hurts to be betrayed, but I think the hurt has lessened a bit because now I understand why she did what she did. Okay, I think I'm a bit okay with that. If I looked away and scowled for several long moments, her eyes stared off into the distance, and I could also see her mind working. Finally, she sighed and spoke.
Right. Well, I've got 9 points now. So sorry, but I'm out of here.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Huh? What do you mean?
Do I really have to explain it? I'm leaving. Through the number 9 door.
Hey! Wait. I scrambled around in front of her and threw my arms out.
You're in my way. Move.
No. I'm not letting you go. What happened to you? I didn't think you were the kind of person who'd ditch the rest of us so you could get away.
When someone betrays your trust, feels like a part of you dies. For me, I guess it was the part that cared. I don't think you have even the slightest idea what that feels like.
Betrays your... Wait, what are you saying? Wait, are you saying?
Whatever. Just get out of my way.
No, I'm not moving.
I see. Then you leave me no choice.
As she spoke, Fi bent down. Oh yeah, she's a jumper. I forgot. And shot up into the air over my head. I spun around to see her standing next to the number 9 door, her hand on the lever. You...
Nice try.
Tackle her. Get her. She grinned and tightened her grip on the lever.
Claudite, acta est fabula.
Oh, come on, now you're just cheating. Although I should probably write this down, huh? Getting more Latin up in here. Acta est fabula. Okay. What the hell's that?
It's Latin. Applaud. The play has ended. That's what it means.
Latin?
See you later.
Wait, stop. A bolt of searing light roared through my brain. When I came to, I was floating in a field of nothingness. Well, that's not... That's... What? No! What do you mean? That's not fair. Huh. That's not fair at all, I do declare. December 25th, 2028. Okay. You know, we haven't really done much thus far. Let's see it. Let's see the reality she described. Here's what I'm curious about. Do you think Luna knew about that reality too? Is that why she was...
1 minute remains until...
Is that why she was nervous about it? Okay, now here's the question. So when we hit Betray, is it going to be the case that Fi knew about it, you know? Or are we suddenly going to be in a different reality that is... How do I even describe this? Chronologically. Does that term even work in the way I'm trying to use it here? Are we going to be in the timeline that Fi referred to in the one we just did, you know? So I guess I'm going to attempt to use it. So chronologically speaking, are we going to be in a timeline that occurred before the timeline we just did? That's what I'm curious about. So if we hit Betray and then Fi is surprised and hurt and shocked and angry, then I think we know that that is the case. Because what's the deal here? You have to... I mean, what is it? Is it... Again, I don't know if this is like a simulation or if it's morphogenic field nonsense or something. Can it be the case that a timeline happens before yours? And thus you remember the future? It's just such a... Now I'm getting all tangled up. But I hope I was clear enough to what I said. Let's see. It makes sense in my head, at least. Luna and I stepped out of our AB room a little later than the others. They were already gathered in front of the projection, awaiting the announcement of the results.
So, you chose Betray.
Yeah.
Did you do it to protect yourself? Were you worried that Fi might choose Betray?
That's a good question.
Huh?
I'm honestly not sure why myself I'm honestly not sure myself why I did it.
Well, we should go see the results. I want to see how Kay and Clover voted.
Right. Let's go then. Why them in particular? Is it just because of the situation we were in before? It's probably because of the situation we were in before with them. With the
Results from round 2
Tenmyoji
of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
Because of that whole thing with Tenmyoji who stayed behind for Clover. Yeah, I think that's probably why she said that.
Please direct.
Here we go. I'm gonna guess Fi chose Ally. And we're gonna be the only one who picked Betray. There it is. Yep. Now we're the only ones with 9.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Well played, Sigma. I guess a promise means a lot to you.
I had nothing to say. She was right. I'd broken a promise.
Why did you do it? Nothing to say. I guess I misjudged you. I thought you were better than this. That was not a smart move, Sigma. I won't forget this. I'll make sure you pay, even if it's the last thing I do.
Uh-huh.
Elapsum semel occasionum non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere.
Gesundheit. What's that?
A Latin proverb.
What does it mean?
Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Jupiter is a Roman god. Actually, he's kind of the Roman god. He's in charge of all the others. Not even Jupiter, the ruler of the gods, can take back what's been done. You did something bad. You're not gonna get a chance to take it back.
See, the moment, though, kind of feels a bit... Like, if I had done this first and then here, it'd be like, oh, I got my comeuppance, but I've been ally pretty much the whole way, except for the one instance with Alice. So, kind of feels like I was punished for, you know, random not Sigma me. I mean, we're Sigma, but, you know, another Sigma that isn't us. I turned away from Phi. I couldn't stand to look at her anymore. In front of me were Kay and Clover. Their eyes bored into me with a cold disapproval, and I looked away. They'd both chosen ally as promised. The only person who'd betrayed anyone was me. The only person with 9 BP was me. Little wonder I wasn't very popular.
What do you intend to do?
You aren't thinking about trying to open the number 9 door, are you?
Well, now that you've suggested it, Clover, I may as well. For a moment, I considered the unthinkable. Could I break through them and reach the door? Now we don't have jumping powers like Phi does, so probably not. Once I was through, I'd be out of the game and free from their judgment. But no, I couldn't do that. How could I possibly justify leaving them all behind so I could escape on my own? Why had I chosen betray? Here's a question. If I was suddenly aware of another timeline, right? Wouldn't she try to ascertain why we had chosen ally this time? Or be a bit more understanding in some way? Like, she's smart. Phi's really smart. So obviously, and it seems interesting how in this route here, where we as Sigma chose Betray, Sigma doesn't even seem to understand why he chose Betray. It's almost like he gets it, in a sense, that another will, me the player, is willing him to make this decision, even though he wouldn't normally do it on his own. So I feel like Phi... I get it, Phi's upset, we broke a promise. But I feel like, due to the context of where we are, what's going on, I feel like maybe Phi should have been a bit more forgiving, or be at least a bit more curious as to why things happened the way they did, I don't know. I don't know how many timelines she's remembering, or what, Maybe... I don't know. Okay. In my memory, it seemed like an almost flippant choice, as if I'd just been curious to see what would happen. If betrayal was what I wanted, I should have made that choice with commitment. Yeah, so sort of describing me as the player, Because I'm not in this life or death situation. He is. But I'm not. I have the freedom to freely make these choices, just on a whim if I wished. I could have chosen Betray first for every single time here, but I didn't. So he hasn't, he's not breaking the fourth wall, but I think he's starting to look at it. But there I was. I couldn't turn back. Even if I didn't try to open the number 9 door, they would also be suspicious of anything I did. Trust is easy to break and hard to repair. Unless I could somehow turn back the clock, I was stuck with the consequences of my actions.
A lapsum semel occasionum, non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity.
How could I do something that was beyond the reach of a god? Why hadn't I just chosen ally? What would be happening to me right now? What if? What if? What if? Then Phi spoke and I blinked.
Sigma, we're just doing this to be safe. We can't let you run around with 9 BP. I'm afraid you're going to have to sleep for a little while.
Oh, well, that's great.
Okay?
Huh? I started to turn around, but it was already too late. I felt a heavy hand slam into the back of my neck. And then everything went dark. Game over. Not even a to be continued, huh? Ooh, I got achievement. I got 2 achievements. Let me find out what they were. Every ending begins somewhere, so just seeing an ending. And what was the other one? Saw any of the bad endings. Okay, so my first ending was a bad ending. Is that common, you think? Or does that, I don't know. Oh, it's green now. It's green. Think that means we have the answer? Is it just gonna be... Hang on, is the answer just gonna be we knock her out? That's gonna be pretty funny if that's the case. Hang on, I want to see this.
You chose ally, right? Are you sure that was okay?
Yeah, of course. If I did too.
You sound pretty sure of yourself.
Oh, it's not confidence. I already know. What?
What?
Let's just go have a look, shall we? We'll know pretty quick whether I knew anything or not.
Okay, let's go.
But how would he be sure of that?
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Yeah, okay.
Points have. Please check your bracelet.
Yeah. That was, but what he spoke was different, wasn't it? Hang on. No. You chose ally before.
I see. So you remember it too?
Okay, so now it's the same thing, but now he just remembers as well. Okay.
The other round 2.
What? So wait, so hang on, let me try and understand this. So chronologically speaking, this betray route had to happen first. Then the second round, a second timeline where we chose ally had to happen. And then she remembered this one. Then there's a third timeline that's not really visually shown here. It's shown by this green, the book becoming green. But this is one where both Sigma and Phi remember this timeline. But Sigma obviously doesn't remember The first time we went through this timeline. Okay. Got it. Okay. I wasn't even close to the response I'd expected. It felt anticlimactic. Hey, hold on a minute here. You know? You remember how I chose Betray last time in round 2?
Yeah, of course. Why do you think I chose Betray this time? Don't you remember what I said? That I'd make you pay?
Yeah, I do remember that. How come neither of you are freaking out as much as I think you should be? I feel like I'd be freaking out, you know? Then this is you making me pay.
Yes.
Wait. No. That didn't make any sense. Something wasn't right. How could we both know about an earlier round 2? Well, thank you for realizing it now. How could there have been an earlier round 2? Was it some sort of alternate history? Yes, see, how come Fi's not asking questions about this? Why isn't she curious about it? Why does she just... Never mind. What the hell was I thinking? That was conspiracy theory shit. Even if there was some sort of alternate timeline or universe or whatever, there was no way I could know what happened in it. No way I could know. At least, I don't think there was any way I could know. But if I could, then how? I remembered Fi choosing Ally, then scowling at me when I broke my promise and swearing revenge.
That was not a smart move, Sigma.
Yeah, but you don't remember the one where we chose Ally first. That was my choice. I chose Ally first.
I won't forget this. I'll make sure you pay, even if it's the last thing I do.
Look, Fi and Sigma, shouldn't we have like a conversation about this rather than, revenge or something? Isn't this kind of a bigger deal than that? Like, I get it, Fi. Totally get your imminent, the first thing you want to do is get back at Sigma. I get it. But now that you've confirmed that you both remember an alternate timeline, shouldn't that take a bit more precedence in the discussion? Maybe? Why did I know that? Perhaps more importantly, why did Fi remember it? What the hell did any of this mean? It had happened before, hadn't it? During round 1 of the AB game when I was playing against Alice. I'd seen something. Fi and I had chosen Betray. But for some reason I'd seen a reality where we'd chosen Ally instead. Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious, would we have seen that little scene just now if we had done this first? Interesting. Suddenly I realized I wasn't alone. I looked up to see Luna, Clover, and Kay. They all began to speak at once.
What happened?
Why did you choose Betray, Fi?
Yeah, you're the only one who didn't vote Ally.
Fi looked away and scowled. For several long moments, her eyes stared off into the distance. Yeah. I felt myself speaking before I even knew what the words were. Okay, pardon me, any Latin speakers, be they the Roman dead or any modern people speaking the reconstructed version. Elapsum semel occasionem non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. I think that's how she said it. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Are you sure this is how you want it to end? What about the nonary game, Zero, the bombs? We still don't know the truth about any of it. If you leave now, we never will. Is that really what you want?
Fine.
Finally. Fi slowly let go of the lever. Got another achievement. Why'd you do that, you Dumas? opened the 8th lock in VLR. 8th lock? I beg your pardon? I don't know what the first lock is. Phew. Look, I'm sorry about betraying you. I'm honestly not sure why I did it.
Forget about it. This time you chose ally and I chose betray. I think we're even.
Okay, Fi. I'll take it. I don't want to be on your bad side, so I'll take it.
What are you talking about?
When did you betray her? Are you talking about round 1?
No, we aren't talking about round 1. We're...
Just drop it. There's no point. I doubt they'd understand even if you did tell them.
Yeah. You're right.
Huh? I don't get it.
Well, at least it seems Fi has decided to remain.
You've really changed your mind?
Yeah, I'll stick around a little longer. Like he said, I can't leave until we figured out what's going on.
The AB game will continue until someone opens the number 9 door. If someone reaches 9 BP and doesn't open the door, the game will keep going.
Oh man, that's a relief. Please don't scare us like that again.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round.
Okay. I think we'll call it there, actually. I don't know how much is left of here. Not much by the looks of things, but I think that's kind of a good place to end. We kind of went down here, then hopped over here, then back over here, and saw some things that really kind of, well, I think I understand the implications a bit more of what's going on here. Yeah, okay. Overall, I think that was a pretty good series of scenes we just had. The only thing I'm kind of sore about, like, I'm not even upset at Fi betraying us, now that I understand the reason. But what I'm upset about at this point is the fact that I chose Ally first, and apparently Sigma in an alternate reality chose Betray first. When, picking Ally has kind of been my thing. And I want to see it. I want to see the mythical all-ally round. That has to be done at some point, right? At some point in this game, maybe it's when we're on the last path, like the true path to the very end, and there's going to be a final round, and we all hit ally. It has to happen. It has to. At least I hope it does. I want to see it. The mythical all-ally run. Okay. We are done here. I hope you are all right. Yeah, I really mean that. Sorry. No, never mind. I hope you're all right. I've been The Worm. This has been VLR. And I hope to see you next time, all right? See you then.